Okay, we're going to pick up where we left off in class. I was showing you the very controversial Good Housewives Guide, a good guide to being a housewife magazine article. But I want to continue talking about women's roles. Women's roles as homemakers were definitely glorified in the movies and TV shows. So it's definitely a resurgence of women being told their place was actually in the kitchen.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you? No, don't worry. Now, in contrast to this, though, many women were actually not happy about just being homemakers. The number of women working outside the home did increase steadily during the decade. But of course, this did not mean they were getting paid as much or were being treated equally in the workplace. Okay, leisure in the 1950s. People had more leisure time in the 1950s due to a 40-hour work week, more vacation time with jobs, and labor-saving devices like washing machines, dishwashers, proper lawnmowers, etc. Spectator sports had become very popular, especially as people are able to use their new TVs, because we have the invention of the television at this time. And reading also became very popular, whether it was novels, Sports Illustrated, cookbooks, Reader's Digest, and also comic books. They hit their peak in this era as well. As far as the automobile culture, we see more and more Americans buying their first cars. More and more Americans are buying their first cars during the 1950s. Mainly because they're cheaper now, and gas was rationed so much during World War II that now we have kind of an abundance after the war was over. So this kind of leads us to the automania culture. It's under Eisenhower's administration that we have the interstate highway system created. Remember, we had lots of people living in the suburbs, and so they needed a means to drive into the city for work. Now, some of the positives that came with automania, and I have this on the screen, that the PowerPoint screen, so if you want to pause it and just type down what you see. Towns along new highway systems prospered, while towns on other roads hit hard times. It helped homogenize the nation. More and more Americans would take vacations, visit historic sites or amusement parks. It provided more job opportunities. And also things like drive-in movies and diners, fast food restaurants, they were created at this time. Here's some pictures of the original Disneyland. I said that they would, more people would go to amusement and historic sites, amusement parks. Disneyland was actually opened in the 50s in California, not Disney World in Orlando. I don't have on the slide apparently, but a few negative effects about Automania was pollution, car accidents, traffic jams, and then also just damage to the roads, just to kind of balance it out, the positives. Okay, and we're going to have one more section quickly here, consumerism and the consumer age. So obviously consumerism, buying material goods, this became kind of equated with success. You know, it was determined how successful you were based on how much you had. So this also becomes prevalent in this time because so much was created at this time. So I have kind of a list here of some of the consumer items that became for sale during the 50s era. Washing machines, dryers, kitchenware like blenders, dishwashers, fridge, record players, TVs, clothing, lawnmowers, swimming pools. So all of these things would kind of determine, if you possess them, determine your place in society, how well off you were because of how much you had. And this leads us to something that we still see today, unfortunately, planned obsolescence. And this is a marketing strategy that would encourage consumers to buy more material goods by purposely designing products to become one day obsolete, outdated, or worn out in a short amount of time. So they almost set it up to the point where you would want a new one later. Think about iPhones, how quickly they turn out iPhones, and they know they're going to, when they, sell the 6, they know there's one day going to be a 9, and as soon as the 9 comes out, your 8 was worthless, and it's kind of this, makes us this throwaway society where things aren't good enough for us anymore. So it doesn't necessarily do the best thing for America, but that strategy is definitely used during this time. We also have the modern day credit card. Credit was a thing, but now we have the card, buy now, pay later. And the Diners Club was the first credit card to be issued in 1950, the Diners Club. And it would later be followed by the American Express. And people were taking advantage of this to be able to buy some of their more expensive products. Okay, and as far as the advertising age goes, I just want you to know ads were everywhere in the 1950s, just like they are today. Advertisers are trying to convince people to buy things they didn't even need, using psychology in their artwork. So that definitely comes in with the Mad Men show I've been referencing so much. Alrighty, so this will be all of our notes for today, and we're going to go ahead and start chapter 25 tomorrow.